Hey, Jennifer Cito Carabin here from Reach Your Highest Potential. And I want to ask you something. Have you really found yourself in your journey of your life where you basically have done everything that you were taught was the right thing to do? And maybe you've actually set goals and you have achieved those goals, and yet you find yourself still wanting. There's still something missing. And it's really hard to put your finger on it, but it does not leave you, and you've got to figure out what it is. It's almost like there's this void that needs to be filled. Some people will say, well, I'm searching for my purpose. In this video, what I want to share with you is that what you're really searching for is figuring out who you really are. Let me ask you a question. How many of you meditate or journal? If you don't, I would highly recommend that you do. If you've ever been able to cultivate these two practices of journaling and meditating, you'll be able to observe, notice how I say observe, your thoughts and feelings with a lot more objectivity and detachment. You'll find that it is liberating and it becomes fun. You may actually find yourself realizing, man, do I really think that? Like, that's really crazy. Or am I really still holding on to that thing? Like, that happened like 20 years ago, right? You start seeing your thoughts and your emotions as if they were objects you can hold in your hand. And these limitations in perception, these limitations in thought and belief are things you literally can hold on your hand and you can just let go just like that. I've meditated throughout the years. And in these meditations, I've had such amazing internal breakthroughs. And when I work with individuals who have a meditative practice, I find that they move forward in flow and in manifesting what they want a lot easier and with a lot more joy. So as I've mentioned, I've meditated throughout the years. And these particular sayings that I want to share with you, I've come to understand them on a much deeper level. And that's really the key thing. You know, when you're scrolling through social media, right? And everyone's posting all these motivational, positive things, right? And they're good. The next step is, are these sayings actually embodied within you? So let me share with you some of these sayings that I've learned in which I have come to realize they are truly embodied. The first one is, I am not my thoughts. I have thoughts. My thoughts are mine, and I am not my thoughts. And then there is, I am not my feelings. I have feelings. My feelings are mine, yet I am not my feelings, right? Or you can switch out feelings for emotions. So if I am not my thoughts and I am not my emotions or feelings, then who the heck am I? Let's take it a little bit further. I am not my failures. I have had failures. My failures are mine, yet I am not my failures. As well as I am not my successes. I have successes. My successes are mine, yet I am not my successes. What other things do we attach to that have held us back? It could be, I have traumas, but I'm not my traumas. I have traumas. My traumas are mine, but I am not my traumas. You see? We can even say, Well, I have this disease process, but I am not my disease process. It's mine at this time, but I am not my disease process. You see how it creates like this space between what we're experiencing in the physical versus who we truly are. There's liberation in this. So I want you to really contemplate on these things. So if I am not what I experience and I am not what I think or feel, then who am I? Interesting, right? Have you ever heard that we live in a thought universe? That thought directs what we experience in life. So in a way, thoughts, these things that we have called thoughts, are like tools that shape reality. Same thing with our emotions. Our emotions are like tools that shape reality, and we can experiment with these things. For example, if you were to fixate your thought on one thing and just one thing, and you can emotionalize that thought, you could either admire it or you could fear it. Because emotion is key. You will find that what you've fixated on, it will become physical over a period of time. When? Well, it depends on the person. So let me ask you, do you believe that you control your thoughts? Really think about it. Do I really believe that I control my thoughts? Some of you may say yes. I'm pretty aware of what I am thinking, therefore I control my thoughts. But are you 100% sure? Because scientifically, this is something I want you to be very aware of, that any person on any given day, on average, goes through, wait for it, 70,000 thoughts per day. Do you really believe you're controlling all 70,000 thoughts on any given day? Okay? And each thought is associated with an emotion. So we're going through anywhere between average 140,000 thoughts and emotions on any given day. So that's a lot of thought and emotion to become aware of and to master. Do you believe that you have mastered your emotions? This is a very deep question. Yes? No? Sometimes? I'm not sure. Have you ever noticed how you can feel something and it seems like it's from left field? Like it's not even associated with anything you're thinking at that moment. Have you ever experienced that? It is really interesting because the emotional level of intelligence is truly an intelligence. And what happens if our emotions get really out of whack? It can actually start controlling the thought process. I'm sure you have experienced this before. Okay? So let me give you a clue. Mastering your emotions does not only mean thinking and feeling positive all the time. That is a myth. That's a myth. Please watch my video on emotional intelligence. The real mastery, though, that we're talking about of your thoughts and your feelings have to deal with awareness. Are you able to identify your feelings concisely? Like if you were triggered because someone said something to you or you experienced something, you saw something that brought up a bad memory, therefore, right? And you had this really negative feeling. Would you be able to, at that moment, say, hey, I feel this, and identify that feeling? So who are you that's mastering these thoughts and feelings? Who are you? Well, you may say, I am, and you say your name, right? Well, I am this. I am first name and last name. But people change their names all the time, don't they? I actually have an aunt that did this. She didn't resonate with the name that she was born with. She found a name that she absolutely loved, and she legally changed her name to that name. Okay. And I will tell you, I could never call my aunt by another name because that name that she chose for herself is absolutely her name. So we are not actually our names, are we? It's the same thing as our thoughts or feelings, successes, failures. Same thing with your name. You have a name, your name is yours, but you are not your name, right? Same thing with your physical body. You have a physical body, it's yours, but you're not your physical body. Your physical body can be in a healthy, balanced state, or it could be in a disease state, right? These ideas and questions will help you unfold on a soul level, and you can say spiritual level. I will tell you that to understand yourself on the soul and spiritual level means you are actually ready to master your physical experience. You want to get in touch with that part of you that is beyond the thought, that is beyond the feeling, and beyond your physical senses. You want to get to that part of you that's beyond your experiences that you tend to be so attached to. There is that part of you that sees the much bigger picture than you ever thought possible. And that part of you on the soul and spiritual level has given you glimpses of a greater reality, a greater picture in your meditations and in your ponderings, in your discovery when you journal. So this part of you is very deep and it's very internal. Your intuition or gut feeling has probably given you answers before. So to answer your question, you are a spirit having a physical experience, and this physical experience is directed by thought with corresponding feelings. We exist on many planes of existence: physical, mental, soul, and spiritual. And that's just to name some. So for those of you who have learned to manifest from purely the mental plane, you may find the emotional plane or level of consciousness has been lacking. And well, the manifestations have not really been working for you. So please watch my video on mental manifestation versus soul manifestation. So going back to this purely mental level, because we're so fixated on, mindset, and it's very important, don't get me wrong. But you may find that as much as you have been affirming and feeling as best as you can the experiences that you want to have, there is still resistance in manifesting your desire. And why is that so? Usually when this is the case, the person must now understand themselves more on the soul level and manifest from that level. I hope you found this video very helpful. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.